have a legendary one after this.
Good evening. Questions?
Anyway, updates on Marcus and Rob, please.
They're getting looked at, but they're both out.
Is it a good sign that they were listed as questionable?
Yeah, I mean, they had to get checked first today. Coming off a back-to-back, they had to get assessed in the building today. But obviously, timing is probably the best with the break coming up. And don't think it's anything long-term. So obviously, tonight they'll be out, but we have guys that can fill in. And do
For either one? For either guy, it doesn't look like long-term?
No.
Have you seen Marcus? Is he still limping?
Yes.
Or is he in a boot or anything?
No boot, but he's limping.
And then looking at this Detroit team, last time you guys played them, Jason went off in the second half. What did you see on the film, and what are you guys focused on for tonight?
They'll be a little bit different with Cunningham back,
Mm-hmm.
And they're a young, talented team. Have had a ton of success lately, but are capable and aren't going to come lie down. So we liked what we did defensively, obviously, in that last game against them, holding them into the teens. 30 points, 31 points in the first half. And then offensively, we were playing with great pace. Jalen started off really good. Jason kind of took over in the second half, and another good road victory. So I have to come in tonight focused, put yesterday and tomorrow behind us, and look forward, obviously, and then continue with the momentum and doing the things we've done well. So that's the message to the guys.
Thanks.
Do you have a grade for the ankle sprain for Marcus? Is it grade 1 or?
I have not heard a grade. No.
Well, won't guess then. And then I assume Derek is going to start tonight. What are you looking for him stepping into Marcus's role?
More of the same. Run the group as Marcus has. With him coming off the bench in these few games, we haven't had any letdown in any way. And so obviously offensively he can do some of the same things and not miss a beat there, but defensively same size across the board. And he's been good as far as that too. So just more opportunity for him to get used to playing with the starters. And like I said, it's good to have him here at this time with this happening to Marcus, but the group in general, Peyton coming in, and everybody will kind of do it by committee.
Thanks.
To what degree do you think you guys have cut down on ISO situations or ISOs since the start of the year?
It feels, pretty noticeable, but I'm not sure, to what extent. Every game is a new challenge, and teams defend differently. The one thing we have emphasized is playing faster and scoring more in the open court. So those are the isolation opportunities we want. Early kick aheads when the defense not set, you can attack from there. And then from there, I think in general, we still, find mismatches at times, and guys will take advantage of those. But the thing I think we've really gotten better at is not playing in a crowd as much. So although it'll be an isolation cross match or mismatch, when that crowd comes to help, we'll get off the ball quicker. So Jason and Jalen still take advantage of theirs as well as other guys. But the turnovers are down, the assists are up because we're getting rid of the ball. But we like to be a balance of off-ball movement, isolations, which they're good at, pick and roll. So we just have a very multi-dimensional team that can score a lot of ways, especially when we're playing fast in transition.
You talk about eliminating bad habits. Just what has the process been like to just get them to think those situations differently?
Yeah, I've said they've always been receptive to coaching, and the film sessions have helped. But just really looking at numbers and video of what works for us and how difficult it is to guard us when we play a certain way. And other teams are quoted as saying the same things, but we mix it up both. I think, like I said, it's not going to happen overnight, and it took some time, but I think they're embracing being the playmakers and helping everybody else score. And I think it's pleasing to me and noticeable when we play the other way, and that they're like I said, they're embracing that part of being playmakers. But at the same time they get going, they can take advantage of mismatches, and I think they're doing a good job balancing that.
Is there a party that almost wishes there wasn't going to be like an 8-day break or whatever it's going to be to keep this kind of momentum? And also, what's your instruction to guys? I know obviously you want them to get some rest and get off their feet, but what's kind of your hope for them to stay also a little bit active and kind of locked in?
Yeah, I mean, you hate to, for that point, you hate to take the break because of how well we're playing, but the physical break is needed for guys, as well as a mental break to step away. And the message is, take those breaks that are needed, but also continue to get your work in. Obviously, we're not just sitting around for a week. We have a very important game coming out of the break with Brooklyn, but also, do some film study, do things and start to visualize what you have done well and how to continue that and areas to improve on. So it's not just a 1 week break where we're stepping away from everything. Guys will still be in the gym so we can hit the ground running when we come back playing Brooklyn.
Ime, personally, as a head coach, your first All-Star break, what do you plan to do? Will you be all basketball, watch film? Will you vacation? Will you binge watch a show? What do you plan on doing for the next week?
Hang with the family. The family's in Brooklyn, so I'll go be with my son and really dive into what we did well in the first half or over the first half, but really take a look at what struggles we had early, kind of how we've turned the corner as far as those and ways to avoid that. So we do a 10-game scout anyway with our analytics people to kind of break down where we're at after the last 10 games. So I'll really break down the first half of the season and see the improvements we made and what to continue on and what things to avoid. So it's, take your few days to kind of decompress and get away, but obviously not the whole time. You got to get ready for the second half or last part of the season, which goes pretty quickly once we're back.
You said before you're a basketball lifer. Will you enjoy this break in terms of will you dive in and become more, study more, or will you force yourself to kind of take a break and do something different?
Yeah, I mean, it is good to just have a little bit of downtime for sure. I've done both. In my first year coaching in San Antonio, we coached the All-Star game, and I coached another one in Toronto in 2016. So once you've kind of done it, you've done it. Obviously, it's different as a head coach, so that's a different honor. But at that point, once you've done it, Pop hated doing them, and he wanted the week to himself to go to New York or wherever you want to go. But to get away is as valuable as the honor of coaching them. But it's benefits on both sides. If you're coaching it, you're obviously doing a good job, but you also enjoy the break for some, to some extent, get away. But it's not just you turn your brain off with basketball. You got to obviously think about what's coming up and ways to improve down the stretch. So it'll be a little bit of both.
Sneaking a question from John Corrales, coach.
Hey, Ime, it seemed like you referenced Joel Embiid's comments on the Celtics being an ISO team and what he said the other day or the last time he played. How much did that factor into the guys' preparation for last night? And really, at what point does the lesson that you're hammering home about ball movement, when did that actually click? Because I know you've wanted to do it since the beginning of the season, but they've only just started doing it.
Yeah, it stood out to me when he said it after our game, being that they just played Charlotte the night before us. And I put that quote up for the guys before the game yesterday, and they saw that. But to your point, I think that was 15 games ago, and over that last 15 games I mentioned last night, we had been 24th in assists, and in the last 15-game stretch, we were 8th. So the change had come since that game, and I think we just continued that, to carry that over. And little by little, it would happen. We would do something really well, play a certain way, and then take a step back and kind of get away from that. And so it was just a matter of us being consistent with it. And like I said, it was not Groundhog Day when you wake up and it's the next, it's a new game, new challenge. You have to have carryover. And so I think the last 15 games have definitely showed that. But we had some of those ups and downs during the season, and we're just more consistent with it now, and guys are seeing the benefits of it.
Thanks, coach. We'll wrap it up right there. Thank you.
Thank you.